Hi, I'm Kate Tickner, Senior Director at Reltio, and I'd like to thank you for giving this webinar your time and attention today, particularly since in the current climate there are going to be many virtual sessions competing for your attention. This session is about productivity and how to win in the experience economy. So let's clarify first of all, what is the experience economy? I found a webinar on the Harvard Business Review website called The Future of the Customer Experience. It said that we live in an experience economy in which consumers drive things by their choices, and it explained that they can easily switch from one brand to another, but that this phenomenon is more likely if they've had a bad customer experience. And what's more, I quote, "The experience economy means that businesses have to orchestrate these memorable events for their customers, and that memory itself becomes the product. It becomes the experience," unquote. So to do that, you have to know everything about these clients, which is why their data is so critical. To survive in business today, companies need to take a different approach to how they use customer data. They need to get smarter, faster, and better with it. And that's what we're going to explore. The idea for the title of this session came from a book I read by Charles Duhigg, a Pulitzer Prize-winning American journalist and non-fiction author. He was a reporter for the New York Times and is the author of 2 books on habits and productivity. The first one was called The Power of Habit and Why We Do What We Do in Life and Business. And then there's this one, Smarter, Faster, Better, The Secrets of Being Productive in Life and Business. If we agree that it's been said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, then in this context, the quotation on your screen from Duhigg's book makes a lot of sense. People who do things differently are the innovators. And what we want to talk about today is becoming smarter, faster, better, and more productive with customer data. That's because productivity and innovation with customer data are the keys to winning in the experience economy we just talked about. What you need to understand about today's session is that you, the listener, can be the data innovator in your organisation or for your clients' organisations. We'll be setting out in some detail the ways that you can help, but in relation to innovation with customer data, here's what we'll cover. We'll be talking about moving away from legacy master data management systems, and you will be equipped to guide your clients or colleagues into being more productive by being smarter, better, and faster when dealing with that customer data. We'll learn a bit about how moving away from legacy master data management can help drive big ideas, business agility, and enterprise scale. And not only that, we'll provide you with some resources on how a connected customer 360 approach can help your organization reimagine customer experience and meet its business goals. Now, for those of you that don't know Reltio, this is why we feel we're qualified to talk about customer 360 and the experience economy. We were founded 10 years ago, and our vision is to power the experiences of the future with the data that matters most to companies. Our strategy is to be the connected customer data experts for data innovators. The way that we do this is to enable our clients to take all data about their customers, bring it together into the Reltio Connected Customer 360 Hub, and then work with it in different ways. You can see that in the cloudy bit in the middle there, and we'll come back to the cloudy bit later. You will be able to hear that. They bring it into that cloudy bit. There's the mastering piece where we reconcile the data, but let's be clear, master data management for us is the table stakes. Then we look at relationships, refinements and recommendations before providing that connected customer 360 profile out to all the information consumers in your business, not just data stewards, not just configuration experts, but all the information consumers in all parts of your business. There's lots of materials about this on our website, so this is just an introduction, but it's not the focus of today's session. So let's move on. Today, as I've said, we're going to equip you as the data innovator with 4 specific productivity tips to make you smarter, faster, and better. We're going to clarify the message, or show you how to clarify your message using a storytelling structure. We're going to help you understand your role, the data innovator, as a guide to the rest of your organization or your client's organization. We're going to help you help them to focus on the business problem using a technique called feature, advantage, benefit, or FAB. And finally, a little bit on how to empower others to take action by having a next step or a plan in mind. So let's get started with the first one. I find the work of Donald Miller from mystorybrand.com inspiring, so I've used his method of a storytelling framework for this session. What he tells us in his book, that you can see on the screen, is that there are certain elements in every classic tale. Think fairy stories, movies like The Wizard of Oz or Star Wars, or any good book you've ever read. These elements appear again and again. He suggests that marketers relate these to whatever they do as a business in order to clarify their message. But it's a great way of making communications clear, no matter what you do for a living. So let's have a look at those elements. The elements include the hero. In our story today, that's always the customer, whether that's an internal customer or an external customer. There's always a guide. That's the person with the plan. That's the data innovator in the context of this presentation. There's always a villain, the bad guy, the bad woman. In this story, the baddie, the villain, is the legacy data management systems that are holding you back. Success is an element that always appears. In our story, it's about winning in the experience economy. And this is reached because there's always a call to action. In our case, that's a new connected customer 360 solution that's been selected and is being put in place to help the hero win. And what that will do is create the other element, a transformation of some description for the hero or the hero's family or the hero's organization in this case. It will make them in our story smarter, faster, and better. So 6 elements: hero, guide, villain, success, call to action, and transformation. So let's get started. Have you got a comfy seat and some popcorn? A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. No, not really. Let's come back to Earth for now. But nevertheless, if you're sitting comfortably, let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a Fortune 3000 company called Arbet, whose revenues were just somewhere over $500 million, euros, pounds. But they had been in business for many years, and that meant that their legacy data management systems were slow, constrained, and rigid. That's your villain right there. Arbet's IT team needs to digitally transform the legacy technology infrastructure in order to help empower the business. And Arbet's marketing teams need to be able to use customer data to delight their customers, beat their competition, and win in the experience economy. So having set the scene, let's meet the first hero of our story. In the IT department, or in the land of far, far away, we find Tatva, the head of enterprise architecture. She's having a real struggle dealing with her legacy infrastructure, and she knows it's preventing Arbet from using its customer data more productively. She's very frustrated, in particular with the old master data management and other data management systems, because they're inflexible and far too complex. They're expensive to administer, expensive to maintain, expensive to upgrade in terms of licensing, staffing, and time. And not only that, even when they are administered, maintained, and upgraded, they're super limited in capabilities, and they just can't scale to meet the demands of a digital business for the experience economy. How can she deliver to her business teams or attract top talent to work at Arbet with such an outdated, underinvested IT estate? Well, Tatva has some specific challenges which are listed here for you. And being an extremely capable technical architect, she starts to look around for some tools to help her address these things. So help her reduce the downtime for business, help her to manage and improve the scalability, and help her to support different business applications or fewer different business applications in order to be able to provide different views and updates for her business people. Now, Tatva comes up with her dream list of features, and she's sure everyone will agree these will fix Arbet's issues. Let's not forget that Tatva is an architect, and technology features really float her boat. But rest assured, we're not going to deep dive into any of these today because this is a work story, not a bedtime story, and we want to keep you awake. So, back in the workday, and you can tell that this is fiction, because Tatva is quite clearly not working at home. Anyway, back in the workday, she has a problem. The trouble is that all enterprise buying decisions need to be agreed by a group of departments, and she doesn't have the budget in IT. So how on earth is she going to get her NoSQL database, her SaaS, her consumer-grade UI? It's a mystery. What she actually decides to do is call a meeting. Marketing, though, are very busy with business as usual, and they have no time to collaborate on what Tatva is calling an innovative technology solution to Arbet's challenges. And in the meeting, Tatva, true to form, talks about her IT tools and systems and her list of features. Marketing, however, continues as normal to talk about their business metrics and targets. Funnily enough, the meeting is non-productive because they don't speak each other's language. And in addition, each team leaves the room feeling like they're always taking the blame for the other team's failure to deliver on Arbet's business challenges. Now, if you remember at the beginning of the story, we said that every good story has a hero and a guide. At this point, that's exactly what Tatva needs. She needs a guide. The guide is the Dumbledore or the Obi-Wan, the Glinda or the Gandalf. In our story, they are the data innovator that's going to help IT and marketing to see each other's point of view. In our story today, that's you. Now, I should state that a wand or a beard are not mandatory, but if you have a pair of ruby slippers handy, then please let me know. I've been desperate for some for years. So, as the data innovator for Arbet, when they're looking to get away from legacy MDM and data management and move towards connected customer 360 profiles, well, what do you need? You're their guide. So as a guide, you need to have empathy. I understand your frustration. I can help you find a solution is what you'd probably say. And you need authority. I am competent and I can help you solve your problem. I know where this has been done before. I can share some success stories. And what you need to help them understand is that your job as the guide or the data innovator is to help them understand the other's point of view, to focus on building a plan that empowers them to take action, and to guide them through to success and productivity. So let's start with where this has been done before, because that will demonstrate you as the data innovator or guide, you have empathy and authority. So let's share some quick stories. AstraZeneca is a global, science-led biopharmaceutical business whose innovative medicines are used by millions of patients worldwide. They have a centre of excellence in IT that provides trusted customer data to the business. And over the last 3 years, AstraZeneca has implemented a data management program to replace legacy on-premise local solutions with a new global Reltio platform. The service is now used by thousands of local market reps and hundreds of local data stewards, and customer master data is published daily from Reltio to core commercial systems, including Viva CRM. They have matched new data sets with existing profiles in Reltio, which has created connected customer 360 views to enable their field reps to have richer conversations with customers based on their deeper understanding of that healthcare provider's speciality, the publications they may have written, whether they are involved in a clinical trial, etc. So that's 67 legacy systems replaced enabling reps in over 140 countries, 10,000 of them accessing clean data. And in addition, Reltio is now the consent master data management hub for AstraZeneca commercial systems, which means healthcare professionals can opt in to marketing communications about products in one system and opt out in another. And the systems are kept in sync automatically with the customer's preferences. Here is a really good example of IT and marketing working together to become more productive. In fact, they are at least 10 times more productive in their estimation than they were before. Let's look at our second story, Quicken Loans. And the reason why this is relevant, particularly for a European audience, is because Quicken Loans is the largest US personal mortgage lender with 17,000 employees, and they're consistently receiving new awards, such as the highest customer satisfaction rating among US primary mortgage lenders for the last 10 years. So they're a real role model, they're a real innovator. You can see on the right what Reltio was able to deliver to Quicken, including the number of customer profiles managed and the time to production. But let's talk about how that helped their business. Quicken are always looking for ways to innovate and become more productive, and their business people are always wanting to push the boundaries of what is possible in marketing. They expect their IT team to make sure that this is possible with the most performant customer data and infrastructure underneath. Last year, Quicken Loans Marketing had the audacious idea to run an ad during the National Football League Super Bowl Live to maximize brand exposure and revenues. The Super Bowl is easily the biggest sporting and television event in the US. Last year, the Super Bowl drew 111 million viewers. And this year, Quicken Loans Rocket Mortgage became the official mortgage sponsor of the National Football League. They decided to ask Jason Momoa, who you can see at the top there, to appear in a 1-minute, 20-second advert that they ran in the breaks during the action. You can actually watch that advert on video on YouTube. It's a really good advert. And Aquaman did a great job. But no technology issues would be acceptable because of the level of exposure. You've got to think about the type of volumes that Americans see on Black Friday. The result, based on connected customer 360 profiles, was that they were able to offer the right product at the right time, which resulted in faster lead conversion, accelerated revenue growth, and no performance degradation, even though at the peak they had 13 million requests to the bank, which was triple the daily average. Productivity and innovation with data are the keys to winning in the experience economy, and none of this would have been possible with Quicken's legacy infrastructure. So here again, you can see the link between IT and marketing. Not only that, Aquaman and the Marvel movies are also examples of great stories. But let's head back to our story with Tatva. Tatva now has a guide, that's you. So for her to make changes for Arbet, she needs to be able to talk to marketing. Now, you could suggest, if this was a story, that she used the force or clicks her heels together 3 times. But in the real world, it's probably better to take a leaf out of AstraZeneca and Quicken Loans' book, which would be to focus on the business problem. Now, in Beauty and the Beast had to learn to love, and Harry Potter had to learn an awful lot of spells. Fortunately for Tatva, it's work, so she just has to get up to speed with the language of marketing. But as you can see, even that's quite a lot of different language. However, she's a clever woman, she gets there. And as her guide to help her with this, you are going to send her to spend some time with Ethan, who's the head of customer insight. You know he's a really friendly and knowledgeable person, and you think they will learn from each other. Now, Ethan is also frustrated because for him, the customer information is inaccurate, incomplete, and out of date. There is no single system that can provide each of his team members with the different and complete view of each client that they need to do their jobs effectively and personalize client interactions. Every request for a change that they make for the data or the database takes months and months to get done by IT. and there are periods of downtime as well. Sometimes when they come in the morning, the systems are still processing the data loads from the night before. He cannot demonstrate his level of compliance either with data protection legislations across all communications with each client. However, after spending time together, Tatva and Ethan started to speak each other's language. They were able to map the 5 very technical features on Tatva's list to the advantages and benefits for each of them. And it's at this point that I would like to invite my glamorous assistant, Chris, to help me to role play this conversation for you with him as Ethan and me as Tatva. Chris, are you ready?
Yes, I'm here. Hi there.
Great. Okay, so here we go. Ethan, do you remember my technology features list?
Yes, I do, but I've no idea what most of it really means.
Well, if your team had immediate access to all customer information, including transactions, interactions, the relationships between them and all of the other types of data, and third-party data sources available that could be added in, whilst also being able to manage communication consents and detecting personally identifiable information automatically, do you think that would help you improve your net promoter scores and comply with legislation?
Yes, that would be very helpful. But how would you do that?
Well, if we find a NoSQL solution that will handle all that information in one place, I can give you that capability and I can reduce the IT time, cost and resource of supporting multiple different systems across the business.
Great, that does sound like a win-win.
Fantastic. Is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
Yes, Tatva, my team needs to get to market faster with new offers, and we need to enable hyper-personalization, be empowered to decide what makes sense for us without waiting for IT. As one example, if we could see that customer A is a parent of child Y and resides at location XYZ, but also customer B resides at that same location XYZ. If we could see that, we could decide whether to make customer B the parent of child Y as well. This would make it easier to understand complex relationships, and that helps us to hyper-personalize. If we could add these relationships in ourselves, then it will be quicker, and that means we can get new products to market faster.
Right, so you want the ability to automatically discover relationships you didn't know about and configure or update them without IT's help.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, well for that we need to include graph capabilities and hierarchy management, which is great for me because it will hugely reduce DBA time and staff costs. We can also enable the right access based on your team's individual permissions and logins. That would be helpful, presumably.
That sounds fantastic.
Okay, well, talking about my list, are you on board with why I've specified both software as a service, or SaaS, and native cloud?
Yes, I know we need to take advantage of modern technologies, and I see there's now a number of cloud-based options, so hopefully there's a great selection to choose from.
Well, there certainly are quite a few data management solutions that are cloud-based, but most of them are not cloud native.
Well, surely everyone's got a cloudy bit these days.
I agree. However, you told me you wanted your team to have more time in the day in order to be able to get more campaigns out the door and new products to market. Is that right?
Yes, at the moment our legacy system is often still processing data when we come in each morning, and then we're always being asked to schedule downtime for upgrades and bug fixes. And not only that, but we're always worrying that it will go down at peak times, causing even more delays.
Okay, well that's why our cloudy bit has to be cloud native. So it was designed and built to make optimal use of cloud technology. Something that's cloud-based only is the same legacy software, just running on someone else's hardware. So it has the same problems of scale, performance, and downtime, and that has to be managed and paid for somewhere, either in-house or at an external service provider.
So it's the native cloud that has the silver lining then. Awesome.
That's right. Have you got any other problems I can help you with?
Yes, another problem I have is my customers seem to think I should be telepathic, that I should be able to give them exactly what they want whenever they want it. Well, I'm good, but I'm not that good.
Well, Probably other companies they deal with are better equipped to give them that. So if you need a bigger picture of each client for each user, then a single golden view isn't going to work anymore, is it?
No. For marketing campaigns on social, I might want to call my client .eg. But for email, I might want to use dot because that's how she's asked me to address her. And then in risk management, they're going to want to always see Dorothy Gale. So to be truly telepathic, we need a different view for every user. In addition, we all have different data requirements. I might only need 30 pieces of information, but risk management might need 400. I've been told we can't store those in our legacy NDM, so it ends up all in a separate data store.
Yeah, I know. And then every time your team wants to change a view or add some data, my team has to action it. And then we have to retune the whole environment to maintain performance.
Ah, is that why it takes so long?
Yeah, and that's where the facets and arrays in a new solution come in.
Okay, well, I'll leave you to figure that out then. I'm off to stare into my crystal ball.
So once you've become telepathic, Ethan, are there any other superpowers that you'll need?
Well, I think I need to stop being the sidekick, become a hero in my own right.
What do you mean?
I want my team and I to be able to work directly with the data through an interface that's designed for us so we don't have to keep asking IT for everything. And in addition, I'd like super speed. So whenever I search for something in the data, I can find it really, really fast.
Well, if I wave my magic wand, I can probably do that for you with a swish, swish, swish. Actually, I can probably do that for you with a consumer grade UI and a Google type search capability. Will that work for you?
Yes, although I'm assuming I won't be able to jump over our office building unassisted.
No, but we'll both be able to reduce the time we spend on mundane tasks and free up our teams to have more office socials in a virtual 2 meters apart sort of a way.
Well, that sounds good.
It's at this point that the guide has helped Tatva and Ethan realise that their goals are aligned. They both want a system that will create connected customer 360 profiles. It's just that one was coming at it from a list of features and the other was coming at it from a set of business capabilities. They'll both have the features that they need. They'll both get the advantages for their teams that they want, and that will enable them both to deliver the business benefits for our bet. So what has the guide got to do next? And as we go back to the things that we talked about at the beginning, the next piece would be to help them build a plan that will enable them to take action. And to do that, you need to first quantify the size of the problem. Our value engineering team at Reltio can help, and this will probably be material for another later session. The second thing to do would be to quantify the benefits of the new connected customer 360 solution. Because if you understand the amount of pain you're in as a business, you can understand the amount of benefit you're going to get from the new solution, you can work out the return on investment. Handily, what you're going to advise Tatva and Ethan to do then is to research the market for this solution. Unfortunately, you'll be able to provide them with some help because you'll be able to direct them to download the free RFP template that's with this webinar in BrightTalk that will help them with their search for a modern data management solution that will provide them with these connected customer 360 profiles. So what happened next to Tatva and Ethan? I can tell you that they did not fall in love and get married. Interestingly, though, they did discover that they were twins, separated at birth to hide them from their evil father. Only kidding. They did, however, professionally speaking, live happily ever after because they were productive. They were smarter, faster, and better. At Reltio, we believe that our CEO, Manish Sood, and his colleagues set out to rethink the master data management paradigm 10 years ago. They thought about how to make it smarter, faster, and better by focusing on the outcomes that clients wanted and using modern technology to make that happen. Our customers are far more productive as a result, and we want you and your clients to realize the same benefits. Today, we looked at the challenges of legacy master data management, and we covered off how data innovators can guide their clients to build connected customer 360 profiles that will enable them to become more productive and innovative so they can reimagine the customer experience for a digital age and win in the experience economy. So you are already faster, smarter, and better. The end. Thank you for listening. We at Reltio wish all of our potential customers, existing customers, partners, colleagues, and their families health and a big dose of patience and hope at this difficult time. Best wishes and a very happy ending to you all.